Hey everyone, my name is Eleanor, and I am here to introduce you to my new vlog. I was fortunate enough to get invited to join the crew over at the Nerd Element. I will be actively producing 2 segments, of which I am incredibly excited to get started on. Each week, I will be producing a segment entitled Vampires, Werewolves, and Hunters, Oh My! This particular segment will focus on recapping episodes of my favorite supernatural shows. The shows I will be focusing on will be the CW Supernatural, The Vampire Diaries, The Originals, and Sci-Fi's Being Human. During each weekly segment, I will break down the episode, I will give an overall review of how I felt about it, and I will introduce the new episode that is to come in the following week. From Fiction to Real is a vlog that will focus on book-to-film adaptations. There are quite a few adaptations set to release in early 2014 that I am excited to bring to you, the viewers. I will also be headed back into the past to cover some book-to-film adaptations that were already previously released. I am excited about this project in particular, as I will be focusing on how well the adaptation was made, any changes that occurred from book to film, and my overall thoughts about how well I think the cast and crew of the film pulled off bringing a book to life. I cannot thank Kim and the rest of the crew at the Nerd Element enough for inviting me to join them on this incredible journey. I am excited to see what 2014 brings for myself and the rest of the crew at the Nerd Element. This week we're doing a special vlog. I will be reviewing Psych the Musical. Psych is one of my favorite shows, and I'm really excited that I get to do this for you guys. So enjoy! A week ago, fans of the hit USA show Psych were given quite the treat. Psych the Musical, a 2-hour-long special that had been filmed over a year previously to the release, was finally being aired on TV. For many psychos, this was a joyous occasion, and we had waited an incredibly long time to finally see this. This particular episode follow Sean and Gus as they dive into a world that's equal parts mystery and melody to track down an escaped playwright and madman, Z. Z was deemed criminally insane 6 years prior after locking a critic in a room in a theater and setting the building on fire. As far as music goes, this episode had a lot of different songs in it. All of the music was written by Steve Franks, who happens to be the creator of Psych. Franks did a wonderful job of creating music that not only fit the characters of the show, but also played off the strengths of the vocal talents of the cast that was portraying those characters. A few surprise elements as far as music is concerned. Getting to hear Kristen Nelson, who portrays Chief Vic, sing was incredible. She has an amazing voice and something that I honestly never would have expected to hear. She didn't get too much screen time and definitely not enough time for her to showcase her vocal talents, but getting to hear her sing was an amazing experience. Timothy Omenson, who portrays Detective Lassiter, is one of my favorite cast members, and Lassie is my absolute favorite character on Psych. Getting to hear him sing was such a treat. Ever since I announced the musical episode, I was excited to get to hear him sing and to kind of see his vocal talents come into play. With all the music during this episode, it's almost impossible to pick just one favorite piece of music. I did have 2 songs that I really enjoyed, the first being I Heard It Both Ways, which is a duet between James O'Day, who plays Sean, and Timothy Omenson, who plays Detective Lassiter. The chemistry between these two, with their vocal talents and the choreography, just made this scene absolutely incredible and such a joy to watch. My second favorite song of the night was Jamaican Inspector, sang by Dulé Hill, who plays Gus. Hill is not only a hilarious man, he has an incredible voice, which was clearly apparent to some casting crews down at Broadway who have cast him in a new Broadway show titled After Midnight. There were a few moments of the show that I found really, really creative. The first is a part it wasn't in the show, but it was something that USA did that I thought was really great. USA has an app on their site called USA Sync. Basically, you open this app on your computer or smartphone or tablet, and you run it while you're watching the episode on TV. During commercials and the show, it pops up with trivia questions, kind of little facts about recording it, quotes from the cast and crew, and during the commercials, they were actually posting different behind the scene images and other really neat things like that. I was glad that I had the chance to use that app, as I feel it really made my experience so much more exciting to see all of that behind the scenes information. The other part of the show that I found really creative was throughout the episode, an off-screen narrator is reading passages from a Psych storybook. It's just what you would imagine at kind of the start of a fairy tale story. You have the big storybook that opens up. It had some incredible graphics in it. I was really glad they added that. I feel that Franks and the rest of the crew did an amazing job integrating that into the story. Besides Timothy Omundson, who is a recurring cast member that I absolutely love, there was one casting decision that I was absolutely in love with. Z, the madman and main baddie of the episode, was actually portrayed by Anthony Rapp. For any of you who have ever seen Rent, you know that Rapp is well known for his role in Rent. He has an incredible voice, and he's an amazing actor. So when I first saw him pop up on the screen, I was ecstatic. I couldn't imagine a better person to portray Z, and I was so excited that they brought his musical talents to the table during this episode. As a huge Psycho, I was pleasantly surprised with how well they pulled off the musical episode. I was really glad that they made it a 2-hour-long special instead of the normal hour-long episode. I felt that there was so much that they put into it that made it more enjoyable that you couldn't really fit into only an hour. It didn't feel rushed. It was amazing to watch, and it left you wanting more. The songs are catchy, and you couldn't help getting them stuck in your head. Steve Franks did such an amazing job writing the music. The choreography was astounding. There's nothing more exciting than seeing different cast members just dancing along and singing and just having an incredible time on screen. During the actual showing, the cast and crew were live chatting with some of the fans online. That alone made the musical such an unforgettable experience. Getting to have conversations with Kristen Nelson, who plays Chief Vic, and also getting to tweet with Timothy Omundson, who's my favorite actor on the show, was something that I feel really added to my overall experience of Psych the Musical. Although a lot of reviews I've read have stated that the musical was unnecessary, this was a project that fans have been 100% behind since the idea first started coming out. We were excited to see it come to completion, even if it took some time. So it's definitely something that, although it may not have been necessary for the show, I'm glad that they gave this to the fans. It was an amazing tribute to the fans and a great way for us to have such an amazing journey and experience with the cast and crew. Psych the Musical had its first showing at San Diego Comic-Con back in July. I myself, as well as a few other psychos I know, were incredibly disappointed that we didn't get to see the musical back at SDCC. At the same time, getting to see this episode with the rest of the fans and with the live chatting, I couldn't imagine a better and more fulfilling way to experience Psych the Musical. I give Psych the Musical 5 out of 5 pineapples. Overall, it was incredibly enjoyable. It's something I would watch more than one time. The music was nicely done. The choreography was incredible. The way the cast and crew just pulled the whole project together is something that no psycho will ever forget. Psych the Musical soundtrack is now available for download on iTunes. If you're a psycho and you love the music, be sure to head on over, download it. It's incredible to have. I actually downloaded it the night it released at midnight. I was far too excited. Psych the Musical is now also available on DVD. You can purchase this from the USA website as well as Amazon. No word on whether or not we'll get a Blu-ray version yet, but it's definitely a keepsake any psycho should have.